there! Welcome to the Sisterhood of the Traveling Bantha. We are your hosts, Denise
and Rexy, and we are recording with special support from Council Member Mark Collier.
And we're broadcasting from our galaxy to yours.
May the Force be with you.
Always.
What's up, herd?
Hey, herd.
We hope you guys are having a great day.
We
are trying new things and figuring it out and having a good time while doing that.
Yep. If you're not a Patreon subscriber, you won't know this yet because we told our Patreons, we didn't tell anybody else. We switched from StreamYard to EVMux. So just bear with us for a couple of weeks while we get things figured out. We will figure it out.
Yeah. So with that said, right now, with this episode coming out, Andor just released Tuesday.
Yep.
We will be releasing Andor content the following week. We like to give people a week to kind of watch it so we don't spoil anything too much.
Just like we did with, what was the last show that we just
Skeleton Crew.
Just like we did with Skeleton Crew.
So many.
We put a week out and then we'll record it. So
yes, and so with that said, we are doing Bonnie's Bookshelf today.
Yep.
We read Reign of the Empire, Mask of Fear.
I loved it.
Can I show something real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got this special Inkstone edition, and I ordered it online, and look at this. It's Mon.
Whoa.
Oh, we're not done.
That's so pretty.
And then
it's
a signed limited edition of 500.
That is awesome.
Oh, you can. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I
it's such a pretty book. Like
I got
the whole design.
So like I had such FOMO because I didn't get this book till maybe like 2 or 3 weeks after it released.
Oh, okay.
Because it came from England.
Oh dang. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. But because I pre-ordered this, now I got to pre-order the signed copy of Wayseeker before everybody else for the one about
That's super exciting.
Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Indara and Venestra.
Yeah, it's freaking cool.
Yeah,
so you're on like a priority, like first dibs kind of.
Yeah.
Really cool.
But
so excited. I read this immediately. Like it dropped and I read it. I think I started reading it that day. So then I had to go back and read it again.
I just read this last skim knowing that we were going to talk about it today.
I am going to learn from Denise. I know I've said this before. I am going to stop reading the books as soon as we announce them because I forget by the time it's time to talk about them.
Yeah, when we planned what day we were going to record, I'm like, all right, I got a week to like read this, and then go.
That's good.
So do you want to read the publisher synopsis?
Yeah. Okay. In order to ensure the security and continuing stability, the Republic will be reorganized into the First Galactic Empire for a safe and secure society.
Wow. Was that your Vader?
Yeah.
Nice.
I tried. With one speech and thunderous applause, Chancellor Palpatine brought the era of the Republic crashing down.
Yep.
In its place rose the Galactic Empire. Across the galaxy, people rejoiced and celebrated the end of war and the promises of tomorrow. But that tomorrow was a lie.
Yeah, it was.
Instead, the galaxy became twisted by the cruelty and fear of the Emperor's rule. During that terrifying first year of tyranny, Mon Mothma, Saw Gerrera, and Bail Organa faced the encroaching darkness.
Yep.
One day, there will be 3 architects of the Rebel Alliance. But first, each must find purpose and direction in a changing galaxy while harboring their own secrets, fears, and hopes for a future that may never come unless they act.
That's the author. He also wrote Rogue One
good
Catalyst.
one.
And Outfit Squadron, I'm reading next month, the whole trilogy
I wanna read
series.
that.
I've heard it's really, really good. But right now I'm reading Aftermath, which is has Cobham. So that's the whole thing.
Yeah, I just found it. Okay. So we got very excited about this because I did not know. I'm going to read you this little blurb about the author before we start. So, Alexander Freed is the author of Star Wars Alphabet Squadron Trilogy, Star Wars Battlefront, Twilight Company, and the novelization of Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and has written many short stories, comic books, and video games.
So he didn't do Catalyst. He did do Rogue One,
Rogue
which
One.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Because that's also a kind of a very political, like, heavy empire.
Oh, and so is this one.
Yep.
Born near Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, he endeavors to bring the city's dour charm with him to his current home of Austin, Texas.
But yeah, so
Yeah, that is a heck of a synopsis, and I think it perfectly encapsulates this book. Like, I mean, obviously it's their job to write them. Like, they're very good at it.
you know
but-
this is a trilogy, right?
Yes, I got
Okay.
so excited.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the first book of said trilogy. Next book is coming out in spring 2026, and I believe then the final one is going to be spring of 2027. Yeah. So each year. Yeah, it makes sense. That's most book sequels come out like that.
I know, but I
Just
hate
gives you
it. It gives me time to read other things.
to read it again right before the next one
That
comes
is,
out.
ooh, I like that. That's true.
But
Maybe that will be another Bonnie's bookshelf book when it comes around, because I'm a pretty big fan of this author. I loved this book.
I like this book. It was something different. Like I knew it was going to be a political Star Wars book.
Yeah.
Especially because of the time era that it does take place, right after
Right. I mean,
right after
immediately.
the Clone Wars, and it is essentially
This is like them dealing with the fallout from everything.
yes.
Like,
But it's really hard for them to deal with the fallout because a lot of people are happy with where the
Yeah.
empire, the new empire is at, because there's finally peace after all of these years of war.
Right.
And
There's a quote in there that is really, really good, and it's somebody is talking to Mon, and they said, "Do you have the quote?"
no,
Dad?
was it like, well, you were trying to do this fight? They were.
Yeah, and she was like, "The people like not being in a war zone. They like not
They
looking
were
through the rubble for
falling
their dead."
in love with Palpatine. Was essentially what they're saying. Well,
Yeah.
you have this vendetta. They were falling in love with them.
Yep.
Well, you're trying to fight. When they're done with fighting, they're sticking behind him because
Yep.
he at this time is peace. And
Yep. Even if he was the reason it wasn't peaceful,
because he was playing
he's the puppet
puppeteer,
master, right?
like
It's still like that has stuck with me, and it's something I've thought about. Like, they like not living in a war zone. They like not looking through the rubble to try to find their
and
dead.
I
They
don't
like not
blame them.
going bankrupt. They like not starving. They like not being at war.
And I don't blame them because it wasn't a short war. It went on for years.
yeah.
Years. And then all of a sudden, also, these peacekeepers are now fighting in this army. All of a
Right.
sudden, this republic that was never.
They were supposed to be complete peacekeepers,
Yeah.
and now they're the generals.
But then also,
It's
like,
confusing.
the republic, who never had a military, all of a sudden had this
Yep.
military of millions.
A
of
very,
clones?
very strong military when you had nothing. Like, it's untrustworthy. It makes you don't trust them. You're fearful. You don't want anything to do with it because you feel like they've lied to you, even though the guy who's been lying to you is now someone you're kind of.
And
falling
then
in love
now
with.
you have Palpatine, who ends the war and promises peace.
Right.
Like,
He started the war so he could end the war. Like,
yeah,
that
he
he-
did.
He was he's so good at the long game that he started this so that he could end it and be like,
Have ultimate
Yay!
power.
look at me, like, I fixed this. Just bow to me and I will keep you safe.
But so, in that whole grand scheme of things, I thought it was very interesting. Like, I really love that we did have Bale, we did have Mon, and we
Mhm.
did have Saw Gerrera, because these are
Yeah.
3 people that we knew were part of this rebellion.
Yes. And we know that they are very big players and very different aspects.
Yes, they all have
Like,
their own different
yes,
ways.
Bale and Mon are both into politics. Saw
But
is an
very
extremist.
differently
they
into
are-
politics.
Exactly.
So I've never known, like, Bale has been in it for years, and he's known for being very outspoken, but also very loved and admired.
Very
Whereas-
charismatic.
Yes.
like able to talk to the people who don't agree with them and sometimes sway them.
And then Mon was known as a pacifist.
Mm-hmm.
She was always kind of rode the line. She never really had like
She didn't make
one
waves.
extreme view or another. She kind of just played the middle ground to see who she could get on her side.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Bail and Mon. They butted heads a lot.
Oh yeah, I mean, there were definitely times that you're like, I kind of thought they were friends, but I think they actually hate each other.
And but they even like Mon even talked about that, like in her internal thoughts was how, or was it Bail, that how Padme was like their middle ground.
Yes.
And they
she was the
both
one who
respected
she was like a
Padme.
magnet, and
Mhm.
she kept them balanced between their polarizing
Yep.
forces.
And
like,
so now they're having to reconfigure this like friendship, especially while Bail is hyper fixated on trying to prove the innocence of the Jedi, which was a losing battle because everybody saw him as the bad guy at this point.
And at this point, it didn't matter. I mean, it mattered to him for Leia.
Yes.
He wanted to do everything he could to try to just make Leia's life better. But it didn't matter beyond that. Like, that was not the big picture, and he was very short-sighted in his goal.
And then
it's
you had
admirable for him to want to clear them, but it's short-sighted.
And then you had Mon, who she reached out to the Separatists.
Yeah.
To bring them back in, to be like, hey, you guys, even though we were fighting you, we feel like I feel like you should have an equal voice. And she's hoping that, because she saw from the very beginning where Palpatine was going with this.
Right.
And she saw that as people slowly cheer him on and get back into this like peaceful lifestyle, that he was doing things, undercutting things, taking power here and there, small grabs of power to the point.
Oh, this is under my jurisdiction now.
Yeah.
You know what? You have better things to do. I'll handle this.
And so she was just like, he's turning into a dictator. He's turning into this ultimate ruler, and that's why she was trying to bring in the Separatists to try to pull back that power. And she wanted to have the power in the Senate for the people, which was also very interesting. Oh, I got so many thoughts on this book. So like, most of the senators were not elected senators. Did you catch on that? They were like born into this position, and she was one of the few.
I did not realize that was a thing that was so prevalent. Like, I knew there were some seats that, you know, but I thought for the most part they were elected.
That was the norm, and she was one of the few.
She was kind of the exception, or like one of the few exceptions to that.
Yeah, and she was elected in, and I think because she just recently got elected in, and it was going to be several years before her next re-election, I think that's why she was a little bit more ballsy with trying to pull in the Separatists, because she's like, I don't have to deal with this for a few years.
Right,
so I
have some time.
Yeah. I can try to pull more people in, and this is what caused her to kind of cause more waves.
Yeah.
Like, and
she was willing to like get her hands dirty. She was willing to like do some unsavory things.
Yeah.
To push her agenda for people, though. I mean, it's like there are some things that I'm sure we will talk about, like her turning over people's names. We'll get there, but really, really hard to grapple with this character that I respect so much. But then you realize, like, the reason she is doing this is because she has to get something else done. Like,
she
is for a greater purpose, for her people. She cares about her people.
I would say she also truly believes in democracy in this universe. She truly,
and she's watching it die. She's watching it being power grabbed by Palpatine.
Believes that the people of this galaxy should be ruling the galaxy and having their voices heard and doing what's best for all, not just for few. And she kept doing all that despite being under surveillance.
Yeah.
Her and Bail got pulled in and questioned. She was like pretty much tortured.
She was tortured
because she was known as a was it sympathizer? I can't remember the exact term, but she was known for being outwardly against things.
Right. I can't remember
it specifically, but
I'd have to dig through there and find it. But they basically put her in this like box. Like, she called it a coffin for the majority of the book, which is talking about these flashbacks. But like, she couldn't move.
She was in this box for like 24 hours.
Yeah.
Over 24 hours.
She had to use like basically willpower to just try to keep herself upright.
Mm-hmm.
And then they pulled her out and questioned her, and I mean, it was just nonstop because she was outwardly outspoken against Palpatine's power grabs.
Yeah.
And she still kept going.
This also book kind of like gave a lot more insight because we see her in Andor and her relationship with Pern.
Yeah. Oh, we found out some more about that in this book too.
So,
I was shocked about like how actually kind of good their relationship is.
Yeah, it wasn't a
Flabbergasted.
loving relationship, but they have this like respect. But I think towards Andor it got a lot more strained because Pern is very close to like the right hand man of like Palpatine and Perrin. Yeah, did I say Pern? It's Perrin. It's Perrin. But like they got married very young, you know that, and so it was they were
really good friends too. Though it seemed like
they respected what each other did, and they knew when to give each other space, and they knew how to
support. Yeah, when to lean on each other and how to do it. I really do think at a stage in their marriage they were very good friends at one time.
Yeah,
but I think by the time we see them in Andor, things are so strained, and plus now there's a teenage daughter who's, adding all kinds of other layers of complications.
Make things interesting. But
I think at one point they were very close.
And I think at this point they were.
I think
because he was there no matter what. And he knew
he was the one she went to, and he was the one checking on her, like just basic things. Have you eaten? Like maybe you should sit down.
But it was very interesting. Like there was a lot of evolution for Mon in this book.
Yeah.
For Bail coming to the realization that he can't just chase after proving the innocence of the Jedi, but moving forward and being like, the way I make this better for my daughter is to stand up against the Empire, but in the background. Because at the end of the book, they talked about, we're going to play the long game. We got to slow down on making waves and play strategically also.
Right. Because if you get taken out, who's going to do it?
And they're already under surveillance.
Right. I mean, it's only going to get worse.
Literally being tailed, and they're tapping into their comms.
And they've already proved they have no problem pulling people in and, I mean, torturing them. That's what happened. She got tortured
multiple times. And, but it was, you know who I was not expecting to be in this book? I was not expecting Saw. I didn't read the synopsis before I read it.
Oh, yeah. I listened to it, so I heard.
I didn't pay attention to. I was like, hey, let's just jump into the book, and I was like, oh, it's Saw. Like
it was pretty neat to see the three of them working together. Like, eventually they came to terms with the fact that, like, to get anything done, they were going to have to work together, separately but together, because they have the same goal. They all have the same goal, and instead of fighting each other, they can be figuring out how to, like, you know what, you're really good at this. You handle this thing over here. I'm going to do this. We are not going to fight each other. We're not going to get in each other's way.
It was very interesting to see Saw. Saw is obviously very headstrong.
Yeah.
He is very, like...
He's an extremist. I mean...
He's like a wrecker. He just goes in and... knocks things over. But learning his background too, though, like from the planet he came from, he was this like war hero there too, and then he didn't necessarily believe in the Separatists or the Republic. He just wanted to fight for his people. And that then now has led to him realizing he wants to fight for the people. And
like not just his people. Like he did his thing, and I was like, you know what, I'm kind of for the guys being stepped on. Like let's see what we can do about this.
He has a very, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Like his moral, I don't want to say moral compass. Like he knows what he wants to do, but he doesn't care what he does to get to the the end game of He's kind of like an anti-hero. If you think about it, he doesn't care who He takes them
Yeah.
as long as the end of the day.
Yeah,
The
it
little
really is.
guys
Yeah, as long
being
as
stood
like
up for
the
and
victims have some justice, they
Yeah.
have things a little bit better. You know, he'll wreck some things to get it done.
there's some collateral damage
Yeah,
around
and
him.
he doesn't have. Yeah, the guilt doesn't happen there for him.
No.
He does
No.
not feel bad about it. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think anti-hero is a good.
It took me a while to get my thought process. It took me a minute, but I just
Speaking of, I guess, like that kind of unsavory, the things you're willing to do, going back to, I mentioned this earlier, but Mon, some of the things that she's willing to do. I mean, she gave the names of some of her friends over to
the ISB.
to the ISB so that she could just get them off her back long enough for her to work on this
Like
bill
her
she's trying
lifelong politician friend, where she said that, yeah, we're having an affair.
to pass. Mm-hmm. Yep. She gave them Vale's name. She threw these people under the bus just to try to give, not out of malice for them, but to try to give herself some breathing room to try to pass this bill to gain some power back.
But she also was very methodical about it. Like, of all the people, Bale and his history with being involved in the politics for so long, and his wife is the queen of Alderaan.
Right.
He could handle the backlash.
Yeah. And he did.
And he was like, oh yeah, I got questioned again by the Empire. Like, he just like bragged about it and did all this stuff, and he was every time he got pulled in for questioning, he was out there telling people about it.
Yep.
Where Mon was like, nope, I am a shut door. I don't want anybody to know that.
Yep. She was completely traumatized by this, though. Like on that note too, like I don't think that Vale came out with so much trauma like she did. She came out like she was having flashbacks. I mean, that's definitely some PTSD after her experience. I don't blame her for not wanting to talk about it there. But also, it makes sense for why Vale's name is one she would give them. He can handle it, and he can spin it in his favor. Look what they're doing to people like
he was a favorite.
Yep.
People loved him.
People loved him, and they were pissed about the fact that he was being harmed. Like, brought in, interrogated, harassed. Like, they didn't like it because they liked him.
And so, because he was charismatic.
Mm-hmm.
She and that was one of the reasons why she also sought him out when having these like secret meetings, was because she knew if she could get him behind her, it would pull in votes.
Yes.
And because
he was very good at getting votes,
and he was just so respected, which
makes he did the right thing. Like, his moral compass did not waver. He full on, like, he didn't want anything to do with some of the deals that Mon was having to make to try to get things to move. He was like, no, not wavering. And he did learn that you can't do that way and be effective. Like, by the end of the book, there was definitely some growth there.
Yeah, realizing to get things done, you're going to have to get your hands a little bit.
Right. Like, you can't stay squeaky clean and hands off from everything.
But he also lived by such a code. Like, he loved the Jedi.
Yeah.
He loved what they stood for. He loved everything about them. He talked about from the time he was a kid.
Like, pretending. He was talking about, like, taking toys, like, pretending to have a lightsaber.
To be a Jedi. And he just, he would try to also meditate every day because he knew that the stillness and quietness could get you in tune with the Force. And he learned that from his friends who were Jedi, like Obi-Wan and Yoda, and like he respected these people and he looked up to these people,
and he tried to emulate them, even though he couldn't access the Force. He tried to emulate them, which made him a very good person.
Yeah,
because these are very good role models. I mean, they're looking up to Yoda, trying to emulate Yoda. Obi-Wan, you're not getting it wrong, even though he couldn't be a Jedi. I think he would have made a really good one.
I don't know. His ego might have got in the way here or there.
You think?
He might have put a little.
Well, I mean, I was gonna say, like, Obi-Wan's got himself an ego here and there too.
He does. So did Anakin.
I mean, so did Yoda.
So did Yoda. So
did
Mace.
a little bit of Yoda.
Hello, Mace Windu.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon.
Yeah. See, they're all.
Eldar, man.
Oh Lord, him and his ego.
Stellan, even Avar, Chris, like
All the Jedi's got a bit of an ego. Yep, you know what? I think Bill would have made a good Jedi. What do you guys think? Would Bill have made a good Jedi?
I think he would have.
I think he would have. I mean, just like he did, he would have continued to fight until his dying breath for the betterment of his people.
Do you think he ever picked up on Leia having? Well, I guess they never knew. He didn't know she was force sensitive. She didn't know. Like she talked about how she could sometimes sense things, but I feel like a lot of people can sometimes. They have like that sixth sense, and I think that may have been what they
kind of typical of not typical, but it's like you hear of it.
Yeah,
it's not uncommon enough to not
if
know.
he found out his adopted daughter, ended up being force sensitive. Like her brother was a Jedi,
right?
Like tried to rebuild the Jedi Order, but then that kind of came crashing.
Yeah, that didn't work very well.
But you know, he tried. He meant well. There's just Palpatine somehow returned.
somehow helps. You know, you can't always go back. Sometimes you can go back. You can't always go back.
But like, I will say one thing I found very interesting. There wasn't very much of actual Palpatine in this book.
Yeah,
I was thinking there was.
It was
gonna be
more like mentioning of his name and his things, but yeah.
Yeah, but it was very interesting to see how people did praise Palpatine,
right? Because they didn't realize that he started all of this
and
because he was so in the shadows.
Realize either that he was slowly pulling more and more like power to himself, and just
those aren't things like the everyday people would know. Those are things you know if you're in the government somehow. You're in this galactic senate, or you're in a senator's seat, or whatever. Like, you don't know if you're just like a moisture farmer. You don't know that Palpatine is out there somehow trying to like. You don't know.
No, you don't.
And so it's easy for him to be like, "Hey, it's peacetime, and I showed up. What a coincidence! You know what? I did this."
This book is so thick. I'm trying to find like that one passage with that guy. Mon and the one dude. Where he's like, yeah, they were falling in love with Palpatine. Where is it? Rexy, I want to find this quote because it was so good and now I can't find it. Ugh. Seriously, how I feel right now. I don't know where this quote is, but I forgot about that Jedi quote talking about how, yeah, they did have their hands dirty, but like, so that is an interesting thing. Like, it was the Republic who asked them to come and help clean up, which would just fuel the whole hatred for the Republic.
It makes sense.
It sucks that they did such a good job on like villainizing them.
Yeah, they did.
Villainizing the Republic that was supposed to look out for everybody.
And the ones who, for a very long time, did a good job of looking out for everybody.
It was like hundreds of years. Like, because the Republic was the High Republic and then it went into the Republic at some point, like 200 years before.
Maybe like.
During like the High Republic era.
Yeah. For so long. But I mean, everything falls. Like,
everything does. There's always cycles. Always cycles.
If you look at, I mean, like any great empire, any great civilization, there's a rise and there's a fall. And it rises and it falls. Like, that's why we have so many movies.
Yeah.
Throughout Star Wars.
And there's so many stories.
The Empire has risen and fallen and risen and fallen.
But like, we saw, I think, some of this, the start to the fall of people questioning the Empire. Not the Empire, the Republic, was in the show The Acolyte. At the end of The Acolyte, we really saw that these politicians were starting to question and forcing themselves into the Jedi's house because they felt like there may have been some sort of ulterior motive because the Jedi were centered. Their home base was on this political, like, planet of, Coruscant. I couldn't think of the planet name.
It's late. We're tired.
They would go and they would do like missions
Right.
but they never really reported anything, which is what started that questioning.
What are they doing?
What are they doing?
Are they hiding stuff from us? Are they plotting and scheming? And then
What if they were based somewhere else,
as-
like Jada?
maybe
Would it have gone
it
differently?
might have been like they may have also acted differently if they were based in somewhere more remote.
Yeah.
There's also, if you think about like how much they pulled back too, because they used to be out and about and constantly seen,
Mhm.
and they started being more pulled back and more selective with their like being out amongst the people, which is why we found in I don't remember the
We
book.
see this in the
But
High
in
Republic with
one of
the
those books.
Starlight Beacon.
Yes.
They started coming and doing more stuff with the
Yep.
politicians and helping with
Yes.
that after the
Instead
Nile.
of the people.
Yeah.
And so the people started seeing them less, and so it was easier to be like, look, you don't see them anymore. What are they doing?
Yeah,
What
they
are they
talked about
hiding?
that in
And to
the
turn people against them.
they talked about that in the Living Force.
Living Force. That was the name of the book I was trying to think of.
Yeah, they slowly retreated back
Yeah.
into.
So Qui-Gon actually challenged them all to go out, like do more, like don't just sit and be stagnant.
And that's what they kind
did.
of were. I think it was really hard for them to come back after this whole like High Republic. God, I'm so sad at this ending. There's literally only 2 more books left. 2 more. Did you get the new young adult one, Into the Light?
No,
I have it at
Olivia
home.
is just waiting.
Oh, it's not
waiting,
out
waiting.
on audiobook yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you already read it?
No. I'm reading Aftermath. I need to read it. I'm not ready for it. It's Claudia Gray.
Oh, we're gonna cry. Claudia Gray always
And
makes
Charles
us cry.
Schultz did the last adult book one too. So that's gonna be
We're just going to cry for 2 books straight, and then probably be real mad.
I don't know. And then we'll probably cry with Andor.
Oh,
we all
we're
know how
absolutely gonna cry with Andor.
We know how that leads to.
We know where it's going.
It leads to Rogue One. I've heard you need to watch
Like immediately.
Yeah.
Last episode, immediately put on.
I'm not
Yeah,
ready
I've
for
heard
that
same
one
thing.
either.
But me neither. I haven't watched that in forever, and
Nope.
I cry every time I watch it.
I'm rewatching it right now. Like
Andor,
yeah,
season 1.
yeah.
Eric and I will do that. Probably. I've got to get through today and tomorrow.
Because the new season comes out on. Well,
Yeah.
you're listening to this now. It already came out, but like.
Yeah. But for us recording right now, it's coming out next week. Yeah.
Yeah. There's just so much.
We'll probably rewatch it over the weekend.
Anyways,
Anyway, this book was so good.
It was,
one thing we never touched on, but I felt so bad for Mon's aide getting caught up in all of this, and like
she was a
just
innocent bystander.
right. It just sucks. She seemed very sweet. Her family seemed really nice. You know, the little bits that we got of them. I just wanted to touch on her very briefly because I felt bad about her.
Now, and Mom cared so much too about her staff
did.
too. She was always looking out for them and didn't want them to get pulled into it, and so she would try to tell them as little as possible to keep them safe from that. And
they could have constant deniability
not
and
work.
and she was still okay.
That was so rough.
But this was a good book, and if you guys have not read it yet, you need to read it. It was so good, and I'm ready for the next one.
It's almost like a history book. Read it.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
If you want a good Star Wars history book, read The Rise and Fall of the Galactic Empire also.
Oh, okay.
Yep. It's another fat one like
Is
this.
it? Nice.
Yep.
Okay.
There is no audiobook for it though.
Bummer. Okay.
Yeah. And it reads like a history book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I get so much reading done when I can listen to them, because I can do that like at work or whatever, you know. I can't pull out a book at work.
No, you can't. But we hope you guys like this book. Our next book that we are reading is Rebel Rising, which is also tied to Rogue One. It is all about Jyn Erso, and they're coming up.
So excited.
It is a young adult book. It is by Beth Revis. She wrote Princess and Scoundrel.
Oh, rad.
Yeah.
Okay.
She makes fun books, but this
Yeah, she
Rebel
does.
Rising is supposed to be a really, really good book. That is actually our
I loved her.
April book. Even though we're releasing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
There's a lot of things to tell you guys, so it's a lot of episodes.
I'm excited to read that because we're
Yeah.
getting all this like Empire era between prequels and original trilogy and fleshing that story out. And I love that we're fleshing out the story without the main three.
Yeah, me too. I really like getting away from them. I mean,
I love the characters.
it's not, yeah, it's absolutely not that, but we have been given that for our entire life. So it's fun to find out about other stuff.
Like, especially, Bail Organa, I saw has been confirmed in Andor. I called that one weeks ago.
Yes, you did.
I called that one weeks ago.
I think she hit me while she was doing
Like,
it too.
Yeah, but I love that we're getting the story about Bail, and we're getting the story about Mon, and we're getting the story about Saw.
Man,
and
I really like, every time I learn more about Mon, I like her. I respect her so much.
She is one of my top favorite characters.
Yeah. 100%. And she never was before. Like, before all of this with, like, Andor, and we started reading, and, like, she was just like, yeah, she's a cool character, I don't know anything. She was on screen for 5 minutes.
In the original trilogy, she was just primarily in, had like 5-minute scene talking about battle plans, and then very briefly, I think, in Revenge of the Sith.
No, she's amazing.
I love her.
Yep.
So much.
That said, I think we need to wrap this up probably.
So I gotta get home to my child. We are finding the fun from our galaxy to yours.
May the force be with you.
Always. Okay.
Thank you for listening to Sisterhood of the Traveling Bantha, written and produced by Denise McKay.
Edited and produced by Rexy Jupiter. Original logo design by Tyler Rigney.
Intro and outro music is provided by the Galactic Empire.
You can find us on all streaming platforms at Travel and Bantha.
And join our Discord for fun-filled galaxy chats.
You can also sign up for our Patreon starting at just $3. You get exclusive episodes, merch, behind the scenes, and more.
And a special thanks to all our Jedi Knight members and higher. We have Rooney, Michael Beavers, Mark Collier, and James Peake. From our galaxy to yours.
May the force be with you.
Always.